I had no idea, which probably sounds difficult to understand here.
Let me take you through a story so intricate that some say it's already shaping Meghan Markle's footprint in the entertainment industry. It all began with Netflix offering her a golden opportunity, a partnership with the promise of creative freedom, groundbreaking content, and the potential to reimagine what star-powered collaborations could look like. Meghan, once celebrated as a modern royal and a voice for meaningful narratives, seemed poised to leave an indelible mark. But behind the scenes, reports suggest that everything wasn't as seamless as it appeared. From whispers of creative clashes and sudden demands to a marketing strategy that spiraled into internal conflict, the road to success was anything but smooth for both sides of this high-profile deal. But that's not all. This controversy revolves around what was supposed to be a groundbreaking addition to Netflix's original lineup. The project, titled With Love, Meghan, initially sounded like a simple yet promising idea, an intimate behind-the-scenes look into Meghan Markle's perspective on life, philanthropy, and her personal values. At first glance, it seemed like a sure win. Then came the trailer and everything fell apart. Viewers who caught the preview didn't hold back, slamming what they perceived as a polished but hollow narrative. Comments flooded Netflix's social media platforms, with reactions ranging from disappointment to outright hostility. People accused the show of being less about substance and more about self-promotion. Suddenly, the drama took a new twist. The conversation shifted from the show itself to the chaos behind the scenes. While some fans defended Meghan, arguing that the criticism was exaggerated, allegations began swirling. Meghan was reportedly involved in crafting the very trailer she later called misrepresentative and off-base. But here's the kicker. Netflix's marketing team found themselves under fire, accused of botching the rollout and leaning too heavily on sensationalism. Meghan, for her part, reportedly felt betrayed, claiming they had cherry-picked her worst takes for the trailer. However, insiders tell a different story. Meghan had allegedly demanded final approval of all footage. Yet, when the public's negative response became deafening, she distanced herself from the decisions altogether. This controversy could have fizzled out if not for what came next. Reports began trickling out of Netflix HQ, claiming Meghan's anger wasn't just loud, it was seismic. Allegedly, she demanded the outright dismissal of the entire marketing team responsible for her show. And this wasn't just a harsh critique or a plea for a new direction, it was a directive that put real jobs on the line. Those whispers didn't stop there. Sources alleged Meghan issued an ultimatum that sent shockwaves through the corporate halls. Fire the marketing crew or risk her walking away from not just With Love, Meghan, but every future project she'd signed on to create under Netflix's banner. The demand was bold and some say unprecedented, leaving Netflix executives caught between a rock and a hard place. Under normal circumstances, Netflix might have called her bluff. The platform has weathered its share of controversies, from divisive stand-up specials to contentious original content. Subscriber churn is nothing new for them. But Meghan Markle wasn't just another celebrity partner. Netflix reportedly saw her as an essential piece in their strategy to dominate the streaming wars. Her star power was viewed as a major draw, especially in an era of cutthroat competition among platforms. So here's the kicker, Netflix caved. Rumors suggest the board dismissed the marketing team in a move that sent shockwaves through the company. Employees at mid and lower management levels were outraged, viewing the decision as a betrayal of Netflix's collaborative ethos. Meanwhile, Netflix CEO Greg Peters was reportedly furious, recognizing the backlash such a drastic move could ignite. Instead of solving the problem, it seemed to pour gasoline on the fire. The public quickly caught wind of the situation, thanks to insider leaks and social media chatter. At first, the focus was on the ethics of dismissing an entire team over a single trailer. Many argued it was unfair for high-level executives to cave to a star's demands, scapegoating employees for lackluster public reception. Critics labeled Meghan's alleged actions as vindictive and egotistical, claiming a true leader would defend their team rather than point fingers. On the flip side, her supporters argued she had every right to control how her image was presented, especially if she felt the trailer misrepresented her intentions. No matter the perspective, one thing was clear: the drama was spiraling out of control. Despite the uproar, Netflix's board stood firm on its decision to side with Meghan. To address the fallout, they began assembling a brand new marketing team, one that Meghan herself would presumably approve of. The idea was to hit a reset button, as one anonymous executive put it, and launch a fresh trailer that would better align with Meghan's vision of philanthropy and personal storytelling. However, behind closed doors, tensions brewed. Netflix CEO Greg Peters and a faction of executives warned that giving in to such demands could set a dangerous precedent. They feared other celebrities might adopt similar tactics, putting the jobs of countless employees at risk whenever a project faced online criticism.
But when I first met my now husband, my friends were really happy because I was so happy. But my British friend said to me, "I'm sure he's great."
Meanwhile, the new marketing team faced immense pressure. Their task? Create a second trailer that could not only salvage the show's reputation, but also pivot public opinion from vanity project to meaningful storytelling. Rumors swirled that Netflix was even considering disabling comments on the upcoming trailer to mitigate further backlash. Yet this idea sparked its own debate. Critics argued it would make Netflix appear as though it was silencing dissent. For now, the board reportedly rejected the idea of turning off comments, but they didn't entirely rule it out, leaving many wondering if Netflix might resort to locking down its social media channels if the negativity persisted. The broader implications of this internal upheaval quickly came into focus. Meghan reportedly has multiple projects in development with Netflix, including a rumored second season of With Love, Meghan, and an ambitious mystery project slated for 2027. While details remain sparse, insiders claim the budget for this new endeavor is massive, making it a high-stakes gamble for the streaming giant. Netflix's board is banking on Meghan's global name recognition to attract viewers, believing her connection to the royal family and ongoing public intrigue could outweigh regional dips in popularity. In their view, accommodating Meghan's demands now might be a calculated risk to safeguard these larger, long-term investments. However, not everyone at Netflix shares this optimism. CEO Greg Peters has reportedly voiced serious concerns, warning that yielding to celebrity demands and dismissing staff could set a dangerous precedent. He believes such actions might create a culture of fear and stifle the creative freedom that Netflix relies on to stay competitive. Peters also argued that Meghan's involvement doesn't guarantee subscriber growth, especially if these controversies tarnish the platform's reputation.
I think the simplest thing that anyone watching this, or anyone who's able to make change, to look at it through the lens of, what if it was my daughter? What if it was my son?
According to insiders, the CEO's pushback has fueled internal debates, leaving some to wonder if this schism could lead to significant changes within Netflix's leadership team. Should With Love, Meghan fail to meet viewership expectations or generate more PR headaches, the board might regret alienating staff and fracturing morale. At the same time, Meghan's public image continues to face mounting criticism. Whenever unfavorable stories emerge, detractors accuse her of crafting a narrative that paints her as the victim of media manipulation. These critics claim she often distances herself from those she works with, aligning with speculation that she initially supported the controversial trailer but turned against it after the backlash. Supporters, however, counter that Meghan is simply responding pragmatically to the challenges of modern media. They argue that taking a firm stance against a subpar promotional rollout isn't just savvy, it's essential for someone navigating the complexities of personal branding in the digital age. This polarized discourse underscores the high stakes for both Meghan and Netflix as they attempt to weather the fallout from this increasingly tangled saga. As the premiere of With Love, Meghan approaches, every new leak or rumor fuels the growing buzz, and not all of it is positive. Social media is abuzz with users dissecting leaked clips and speculating about the show's true nature. Will it provide a candid glimpse into Meghan's life, or will it feel like another calculated effort to shape her public image? The real test, however, will likely come after the first episodes air. If audiences connect with the content, the marketing debacle might fade from memory. But if the show fails to deliver, the fallout could linger, tarnishing both Meghan's reputation and Netflix's for standing behind the chaos. The stakes are higher than just this one show. With whispers of a major Meghan-driven project set for 2027, Netflix's long-term strategy could hinge on how With Love, Meghan is received. The rumored scope of the new venture raises critical questions. Will future collaborators be forced to navigate Meghan's creative preferences with extreme caution? Could any misstep result in further high-profile firings? Industry analysts warn that Netflix risks becoming a cautionary tale if it continues to prioritize celebrity demands over internal stability. Yet others argue that in today's star-driven entertainment landscape, such risks are unavoidable for platforms vying to stay relevant. Netflix CEO Greg Peters reportedly sees this debacle as emblematic of a larger problem. The company has weathered plenty of controversies before, ranging from provocative comedy specials to polarizing documentaries, but Peters seems to believe this crisis cuts deeper, striking at the core of how Netflix values its employees. Insiders suggest that some executives aligned with Peters have begun questioning the board's strategy, fearing the long-term consequences of allowing celebrities to wield so much influence. They worry this could create a culture of distrust and anxiety, ultimately driving away Netflix's top creative talent.
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense. And so we went and met for a drink, and then I think very quickly into that we said, well, what are we doing tomorrow? We should meet again.
While no official statements confirm the reported internal discord, the steady leaks and growing speculation suggest that the tension within Netflix HQ is far from resolved. A significant factor driving public intrigue is Meghan Markle's complex relationship with public perception. While she's championed social issues that resonate deeply with her supporters, critics accuse her of prioritizing personal branding over genuine change. The Netflix controversy has added fuel to this debate, with detractors pointing to reports of her alleged demands and ultimatums as evidence that her actions don't always align with her carefully curated public persona. The juxtaposition of advocating empathy while allegedly pushing for firings has only intensified the online discourse. Still, Meghan's journey, from actress to royal to media mogul, has ensured her a place in the cultural spotlight. Her relationship with Prince Harry, their high-profile interviews, and their philanthropic ventures keep her perpetually in the headlines. Netflix likely saw this enduring magnetism as a key advantage, betting that even a controversial partnership with Meghan could generate enough buzz to outweigh the risks. For now, the board seems to believe that her notoriety, for better or worse, brings unparalleled attention to their platform. But how long can this approach hold? If with love, Meghan is met with scathing reviews or subscriber backlash, will Netflix proceed with a second season? And what happens if similar tensions arise during the development of her rumored 2027 project? Some industry watchers speculate that Netflix might be leveraging the controversy itself as a marketing tool, banking on the idea that curiosity, whether supportive or critical, will drive viewership. The strategy hinges on the belief that the adage "no press is bad press" will work in their favor, though the long-term viability of courting such drama remains an open question.
I really wanted to relearn French. I had studied it for the 4 years in high school, and then it just went away. So after those two things, if we do turn on the TV, which is fairly rare, I think we're like most people where you just do endless searching until you get so tired of searching you don't watch anything. No, but there are a couple, there's some incredible shows on at the moment, and I think really watching great storytelling, there's nothing like it.
Amid this controversy, the public reaction has been telling, especially from everyday viewers who empathize with the marketing team that lost their jobs. Social media is flooded with posts from professionals in marketing and creative fields, many expressing outrage at how easily loyalty to employees can be discarded when star power is at stake. Some frame it as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the fragile nature of corporate support in the entertainment world. Others argue that such dynamics are simply part of the industry. Big names hold big leverage, and companies will always prioritize profitability over principles. However, the broader concern raised by many is whether this sets a precedent. Can celebrities now demand mass firings whenever a project's promotional rollout misses the mark? Compounding the tension is the looming timeline. Netflix is racing to launch a reimagine trailer that casts the show in a better light while preparing for a debut that could make or break the project's reputation. The persistent talk of disabling comments on promotional material only adds fuel to the fire. If Netflix does silence user feedback, the backlash could be intense, with critics accusing the platform of stifling free expression to shield a high-profile collaborator. Such a move could spark calls for boycotts, further inflaming an already volatile situation. The Netflix board faces a delicate balancing act, gambling on Meghan Markle's star power while bracing for potential fallout if the gamble doesn't pay off. As the dust begins to settle, Meghan's polarizing public image takes center stage. To supporters, she's a strong, determined figure standing against a cutthroat media landscape and demanding fair representation of her work. To critics, she's seen as a powerful celebrity misusing her influence to scapegoat employees and avoid taking responsibility for a project's struggles. Whether viewed as a champion or a cautionary tale, Meghan's handling of this controversy will leave a lasting imprint on how her future collaborations are perceived. The question now is whether she can steer her narrative back on track, or if this incident will define her creative ventures for years to come. The role of Prince Harry in this unfolding saga is another layer of intrigue. Though Meghan is at the center of the controversy, many are speculating about Harry's involvement behind the scenes. Some insiders suggest he may be letting Meghan take the lead, while others believe he could be quietly supporting her push for Netflix to meet her demands. Without concrete evidence from inside Netflix, Harry's exact role remains a mystery. Still, given how intertwined their public personas have become, it seems unlikely he's completely removed from the situation. The big question is whether this turbulence will spill over into their joint ventures, potentially complicating future collaborations. In Hollywood, controversy is often seen as a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can spark conversation and intrigue, sometimes elevating a project to unexpected heights. On the other, poorly managed controversy can lead to disastrous outcomes, from cancelled projects to lasting reputational damage. Meghan Markle and Netflix seem to be walking this precarious line. Unsure whether the negative buzz surrounding With Love, Meghan will transform into a victory or plunge into a high-profile failure. As streaming platforms fight for dominance, Netflix has built a reputation for taking risks. This situation, however, might set a precedent for how far they're willing to go to accommodate celebrity demands moving forward. With the show's debut on the horizon, anticipation is at a fever pitch. Critics, fans, and industry insiders are dissecting every rumor, leak, and statement for clues about the show's fate. For the marketing team left to clean up the fallout, the stakes couldn't be higher. They're tasked with salvaging a campaign that has been controversial from the start. Meanwhile, viewers are left wondering how much of the final product will reflect Meghan's authentic vision versus a carefully crafted effort to restore the show's image. Only time will tell whether this gamble pays off or becomes a cautionary tale in the ever-competitive streaming wars. All of this builds toward a crucial inflection point. If With Love, Meghan premieres to positive reception, attracting an audience that resonates with her perspective, Netflix's board may celebrate its decision to side with Meghan. They could move forward with plans for a second season and the highly anticipated 2027 project, while working to mend internal fractures caused by the upheaval. On the other hand, if the show flops or becomes further entangled in public ridicule, it might validate Greg Peters' concerns about the risks of prioritizing star power over company morale and employee trust. Ultimately, the central question remains: is Netflix's partnership with Meghan Markle worth all this upheaval? While she undoubtedly brings significant name recognition, she also carries polarizing public opinion. Netflix may face lingering backlash for its handling of the marketing team's dismissal, while Meghan risks cementing her reputation as a demanding and difficult collaborator. For her, the stakes are equally high. While she thrives in the spotlight, this controversy may test the limits of the old adage that all publicity is good publicity. It's also uncertain how much longer public interest in Meghan's controversies will persist. Her journey from actress to royal to cultural figure has consistently captured attention, but this Netflix saga marks yet another chapter in a polarizing narrative. Whether viewed as a symbol of her fight for control over her narrative or as an example of celebrity excess, With Love, Meghan has already become more than just a show. It's a flashpoint in the ongoing tug-of-war between powerful personalities and corporate entities vying for dominance in a cutthroat media landscape. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this drama is its potential impact on the entertainment industry as a whole. Meghan Markle's handling of With Love, Meghan could set a precedent for how stars negotiate power dynamics with studios and production companies. Should the show succeed, other high-profile personalities might feel emboldened to make similar demands, leveraging their star power to influence corporate decisions. Conversely, if the project falters, it could serve as a stark warning for studios against granting unchecked creative control, ushering in a return to more collaborative, balanced agreements. Ultimately, With Love, Meghan has evolved into more than just a show. It's now a case study in navigating the intersections of creative freedom, corporate decision-making, and public perception. It highlights how quickly public enthusiasm can sour and how challenging it is to recover once the tides of backlash begin. For Meghan, the stakes are personal and professional, as she seeks to solidify her image while weathering waves of criticism. For Netflix, this ordeal reveals just how far even a streaming powerhouse is willing to go to protect its investments. The key question now is what comes next. Once the show premieres and the initial burst of public commentary dies down, will a second season proceed without incident? Will the internal discord at Netflix leave lasting scars on employee morale? Will Meghan address these controversies directly, or let them fade into the background as she moves on to her next venture? Whatever unfolds, this story has left a mark not just on Netflix's operations, but on the broader discourse around power and accountability in entertainment. For now, the drama surrounding With Love, Meghan shows no signs of fading. Anticipation builds for the show's premiere, while social media remains a hotbed of speculation. Who's really to blame for the marketing fiasco? Will the final product align with the contentious trailer, or has Netflix quietly reworked the narrative in hopes of salvaging its reputation? One thing is clear: controversies tied to Meghan Markle rarely stay contained. Instead, they morph into sweeping stories that dominate headlines, fuel debates, and, ironically, amplify the visibility of her projects far beyond what they might have otherwise achieved. Whether With Love, Meghan becomes a triumph or a cautionary tale, it's already reshaped perceptions of celebrity influence over production companies. Greg Peters may continue to voice dissent, the Netflix board might double down on their high-stakes gamble, and employees may tread cautiously in the wake of such unprecedented decisions. But one undeniable reality remains: Meghan Markle commands attention, and in the world of streaming, attention is often the ultimate currency. The only question now is whether Netflix will reap the rewards of this high-profile gamble or face consequences it didn't anticipate. No matter how you view Meghan, whether as a resilient figure standing her ground or as a polarizing personality avoiding accountability, the fallout from her Netflix saga is far from settled. A single trailer, one high-stakes production, and a marketing disaster that upended careers. It all combines to form one of the most talked-about streaming controversies in recent history. And if Meghan's past is any indication, this story is far from reaching its final chapter. As the debut of With Love, Meghan draws closer, the stakes couldn't be higher. Will the show deliver the raw authenticity its marketing promised, silencing critics and justifying the upheaval? Or will it confirm skeptics' fears, leaving audiences questioning its sincerity? One thing is certain: the entire entertainment world is watching, waiting, and taking notes as this saga continues to unfold in ways no one can fully predict. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping Hollywood's biggest stars. Until next time, stay tuned, we're just getting started.